So you have tried reasoning with your son or daughter. Perhaps you've done this. Come on over here and sit down with me, honey. Then you place your arm around your child. Now listen, you have said things to your mom and done things that have often hurt her. We would like to ask you, work on your speech. Work on your behavior. When you speak to your mom, especially use gentleness and sensitivity. But then you find out that your child is not even listening. So you practice patience a second time. Honey, come here and sit down. Listen to me. When you talk to your mom, do so with gentleness. Do not be rude. Then a second time you see that your child is not even listening to you. He or she interrupts you, thinking only of himself, herself, and says, Dad, can I go to someone else's house and spend the night? You try a third time to reason with your child, but find out it's not working. She's fixated on her own self, her own creature comforts. Suddenly, when the child finds out that he or she didn't get what they asked for, this child stands up, gets angry, raises the voice, says, hates you, and storms out of the room, slamming the door, cussing you. This is a behavior that's a real problem. Don't let somebody else convince you differently. The purpose of this video is to take a look at the severity of your child's acting out. How your child treats you as parent is how that child will approach life for the rest of that child's life. I'm going to introduce you now to another therapist. Let's hear what she has to say.
Under the category of anger, how many of you have ever known some angry people? These are the people that are ticked off. How do they get their way? They yell, they scream, they slam doors, they say abusive things. And they're scary people. You know why? Because they have no boundaries. A lot of angry people have no boundaries, which means they will say things that you and I would never, ever say to another human being. So ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Difficult people are great actors. Because I'm going to tell you something. I can act really sad, or I can get ticked off the drop of a hat, because I'm an actor. Every difficult person in your life, will you see them for what they are? Don't take it personally. It isn't about you. They treat their spouse this way. If we found their first grade teacher, she would shudder in fright at the mention of their name. Difficult people have an act. And they either use hurt, whining, crying to make you feel guilty so that you'll give in, or they use anger to make you afraid so that you will give in. Difficult people want one thing. They want their own way. And they are looking for people who are subject to not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings or not make anyone mad. So, how do you deal with difficult people? Take a look at you. What do you avoid? If you can't stand hurting anyone's feelings, then you've got tons of people around you making you feel guilty all the time, and you're giving in, giving out, or giving up to keep that from happening. If you can't stand making anyone angry, then you've got tons of people in your life that all they got to do is raise their voice and get a little mad, and you back off. You and I have control of how other people treat us.